Check 1 2 1 2. What's going on? This is another edition of Mike Ray blogs, vlogs, and whatever is on his mind. Anyway, I'm not going to be long and drawn out. Today's topic is going to focus on parenting, primarily fatherhood. So, with that being said, I'm going to share my screen. I hope everyone can see this well. This website is a website that I've come across because it has some really good statistics about fatherhood and the roles that fathers play in parenting, because largely fathers are minimized and even diminished to a degree when it comes to their contributions in a child's life. Maybe because a mother is more nurturing or is said to be more nurturing. I know this to be true in the early stages, but as a child grows, I believe that it can be a toss-up as to who is more nurturing or facilitating of certain attributes and behaviors as the child comes to be an adult. That being said, I want to show these infographics that I opened up. If you would like to refer to it yourself, you can go to the tab and have infographics here. They have other interesting facts in the research category, and this is overall a good website. So to the fathers out there, I want you to know how significant you are in the lives of your children, and not even the lives of your children, but if you are playing a father role because the child is not biologically yours, it still helps out a great deal. According to this graphic, 18.4 million children, that is 1 in 4, are without a biological step or adoptive father at home. That's a huge problem. And let me expand on why. They have a list of reasons. Those children are 4 times greater to experience poverty. They are more likely to have behavioral issues. According to this, they have 2 times greater the risk of infant mortality. They're more likely to go to prison. They're more likely to commit crimes. They're 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen. That's for girl children. They are more likely to face abuse and neglect, and they are more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. Furthermore, they're 2 times more likely to suffer obesity and 2 times more likely to drop out of school. On the flip side, they have the positives, which is pretty much exactly the inverse of what these negatives are. See the negatives here? They have the check marks here. And if you skim it, you'll see it's addressing those same topics: alcohol and substance abuse, criminal activity, neglect, abuse, obesity, so on and so forth. But I would like to direct this next one to mothers out there and why fathers are important. There are a number of benefits that mothers get as well. They're more likely to receive prenatal care. They're less likely to smoke during pregnancy. There are healthier births, lower risk of postpartum stress, lower risk of postpartum depression, lower parenting stress, because obviously you have another parent there to help you with the load, and you also have more leisure time because you have backup. And then it says higher marital satisfaction. Now, I know there are other benefits to not having a father in the home, but I just don't think that those benefits were or are being used the way that they were intended to be used. So child support, alimony, WIC, or Women, Infant, and Children, the support that you get, Section 8, government funds. I mean, it comes from the father. It comes from B, the taxpayers, and it has a timetable on it. So it's either you're going to continue having kids to your detriment to continue getting this support, or it's going to run out. The long-term best solution, as I see it, is to have a fulfilling relationship, long-term relationship that lasts. So that is it as far as this website goes. I highly encourage everyone to check it out, but especially men, because it applies to men. So I'm gonna shift a little bit because I saw other statistics out there, which, by the way, I think that you all should not just take one website's data. I want you to Google and search for other statistics that corroborate these statistics and, builds a stronger case. Or it can debunk the stance that I'm presenting to you. But the point is, do your own research. So here, and let me actually minimize or shift my camera. This is a statistic from 1990. The number of families with a single mother in the United States from 1990 to 2021. Now, something is happening to drive these numbers up the way it has been increasing over the last 2 decades. I think it's quite ridiculous, and it signifies a problem to me. If that doesn't make your eyes open wide, I would like to show you this. If you look at how poverty is distributed across children living with single mothers, I don't have any data on single fathers, but you can assume that it's significantly less than single mothers in the United States. This is as of 2021. You see the key down here. We have married spouse, absent, widowed, divorced, separated, and never married. The greater chunk of the children that are living in impoverished settings is because the two parents were not married. This used to not be a problem because there was a format. The format was you get married and then you have children and you live a long time. Watch your kids grow, be in your grandkids' life, and so on and so forth. But as time goes on, you see how many children are living below the federal poverty level. And this stat is for 100% to 199% of the poverty level, and then we have 200% of the poverty level and above. This is ridiculous. So, do you mean to tell me the simple action of getting married will prevent children and single mothers from living in poverty? I mean, I'm all for women's liberation, but is this the result of the liberation? I don't know. I don't think that's a good deal. I think it's a horrible deal for the woman and for the child. And check this out. All the woman has to do is have a higher standard and mandate marriage before intimacy, right? That's making you be of higher value in the public eye, and it's holding the man accountable for his actions. But now you're giving up the skins for nothing, and then these guys seem to think that they don't have to handle their business in some cases, not all cases. But let's just say in the case of divorce, you can still make it work out as far as the child is concerned. Like there's no reason to just totally upend families, community, society as a whole. You know, there are a bunch of interesting stats that I was reading through, but just Google it and just, take this information and think about it and share it with your friends, your family, your children, because the reason that children are getting out of hand these days, they can't be controlled by their parents, they can't be controlled by their teachers, they're ending up in trouble. It's preventable. So now I'm showing you stats. Now we can have a discussion, and hopefully we can make the next 20 years better. And that's my time. Thank you. Peace.